Again, like I said in the title, I'm in a bit of a talking mood, and I don't really know what I'm doing with this, so here we go anyway. I really don't know what it is that I plan on doing today, but I just felt like turning things on and just seeing what would freaking happen, so here we are. How's everyone doing this? I guess I could say afternoon and evening. I don't think anyone's going to be in the morning-ish around this point. I think I wanted to put like a hard maybe on that, perhaps. I don't know. Okay, well, I can kind of see right now. Okay, the chat can just kind of go right up into that black box there. That's fine. It's fine. Okay, that's actually how that would work. Okay. I'm figuring out my layerings and everything, but okay. Oh yeah, I am most certainly excited for the new Mario Party. 20 people in one match, that is going to be connection issues out the wazoo, but I like the idea that they're going with it. I do like that idea. So, I'm curious to see what's going to happen with that. And not to mention that we got a new frickin' Mario and Luigi game coming down the pipeline as well. That's going to be... Mario and Luigi games really hold like a soft spot in my heart. Brothers in Time is one of my favorite games of all time. So just getting like a new one is really good. Did I ever get the new version of Bowser's Inside Story? I feel like I did. I just never really went about completing that one, but either way, now that we'll have it on the Switch, that'll be something to stream when it comes out. What was my favorite part about the Direct? I didn't get to see the Direct as a whole, just simply because of the fact that I was at work when it went live. So, or yeah, Partners in Time. It's been a hot minute since by hot minute I mean like almost a decade since I've actually played that game. I specifically had 2 save files on that game. One was like end game. I'm gonna make the brothers as powerful as they possibly can be, and then the second save file was the one that I always purposefully deleted so that I could replay the story again, because it was that freaking good. Have I tried Dream Team? Yes, I have. I have played all of the 3DS Mario and Luigi games, so I do have Dream Team. I do have Paper Jam. Both of them really fun to play. But yeah, again, like I said, there wasn't really much I could say as far as like favorite part of the Direct. It was more or less the fact that I was at work, so couldn't watch it because I have a job and need to make sure that I maintain that as well. So there's that. Aside from that, though, there is one thing that I did want to bring up to everybody. Aside from that, hey, the freaking alert actually shows up this time around. Good. Good. This time, it's not just ambient noises just happening in the ether. What else? What else do I want to talk about? More or less, the elephant in the room that's going to happen next week. That's most certainly what I need to talk about. Because I know I've mentioned it previously, but I feel like it just needs to be updated once more. Next week, at about this time, not only will I be 32, and if the math is correct, let me just make sure on that front. Not only will I be 32, and not only will the channel itself be 14, I close on the house next week. So all of this, everything around me back here and everything, is going to change. All of this is going to be going up bye-bye. And I don't think it's entirely sunk in yet, but when I drove past the property and there was just a big ol' sold on it, and I know I'm the one responsible for that, it's kind of hitting a little bit. Every now and again, I realize I just bought a house. That's the thing. And before I forget, though, Loyal Imperial with the 16-month Tier 1 resub. Much freaking appreciate it there, dude.
No.
Remember when things are flying by? I don't know about the Mario Kart 8 thing. I think that's going to be more of like a another charity event later on in the year, Link. I feel like that I think that was what we had agreed to, that was going to be part of the next charity event that we get all the reactors together to do. So what else? I mean, going back to the house, that is going to be, where did that bruise come from? Probably from work, whatever. It's going to be a bit of a surreal moment to realize that this is all going to be different, all of it, and that's no joke. Most certainly that is no freaking joke. That's over here, you guys kind of have a hand in this. Okay, maybe I need to tone the volume down on that one in particular, because that can just be a little bit loud and obnoxious, he says with copious amounts of sarcasm. Probably gonna, yeah, I'm gonna need to get into that one and just be like, you know what, that one's a little too loud. Yeah, let me get in there. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Metal Pipe ain't as loud anymore now. I've been meaning to get that one in there for a while now. Because it's just funny. Just have that suddenly just pop in every once in a while. But yeah, like I said, it's going to be a bit of a surreal moment just to have everything change suddenly in next week. But on top of that, more so than anything, I probably will have to inform everyone that more than likely next week we will be not streaming, because that's an ample time for me to at least get things moving physically. Like literally getting this stuff out of my room and into the house, which includes the computer and everything. I sign off on the house. Yeah, I sign off literally next week. So, I mean, it's hitting me. It is hitting a little bit as we speak right now. That I'm just realizing it. I'm gonna own a home. Oh boy. And just in time for freaking just in time for the birthday as well, which is gonna be just I just I don't know what to do about that. I really do not know what to do about any of that right now. What was that? What else was I gonna say? I was on a bit of a tangent here about the house and everything, but I do more or less kind of have you guys to thank for the housing. I don't really even want to call it a situation, just simply because it's not really it's not really even a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all to have a house, but it's just the fact that you guys have kind of made it a little bit more possible and doable over the years, because of the fact that Twitch, YouTube, streaming stuff has kind of morphed into a little bit of a part-time job. And the fact that once I'm moved out and on my own and everything, that in a roundabout way kind of opens up my schedule a lot more. I'm not as hamstrung with things going on and about in this house right now that might put a damper on things. So it's gonna be a little bit, needless to say, there's gonna be a lot more streaming that's going to be happening, a lot more screen time and things going on, and who knows what else is going to be happening and everything, because I'm going to be needing to make house payments, and I'm going to need to pay for the water and the gas and the electric and the internet and all that other jazz that comes in being an adult and everything. And while I do have a full-time 6 to 2 ordeal, which surprisingly enough now, because of the location of the house, my 20-minute commute to work now becomes a 2-minute commute to work. I can literally, if I wanted to, walk to work. I don't want to because it's hot and uncomfortable and I don't want to. But the fact that that's a thing is something, to say the least. And it's one hell of a birthday gift as well. 25th is when I turn 32. I will conduct the final walkthrough of the house to make sure everything's all copacetic there. And then the next day I close on it. I write the check, I sign the paperwork, and they hand me the keys. So it's gonna be something. You shared it on Discord. I mean, I still haven't even gotten around to making the official one, truth be told. And I have been meaning to do that at some point, but I've just been extremely, a combination of being busy and lazy. Yeah, you'll have to send that again at some point. I don't know where it kind of got lost in the sharing corner, if that's where it went himself. Needless to say, there's other stuff that's brewing in the background that I'm hoping at some point actually it gets completed in time. But I'm not gonna say that until it happens. Or at least until it shows up. But yeah, it's gonna be one heck of a birthday gift, needless to say. Oh, it's in the sharing corner now. Okay. And I will just save as. There we go. Okay. I got it out this time himself. Again, I was just kind of in a talking mood. I really don't know where I'm going with this right now, but I just feel like I just feel like airing out a few grievances. I really wouldn't even call them grievances. I just want to talk more so than anything else. And it's talk about quite literally the biggest thing to be happening in my life right now. And yeah, it's something. The fact that I'm gonna be a homeowner when literally, I will be a homeowner this time next week. And I feel like I'm not ready, but I know I am. It's gonna be interesting. But The fact of the matter is, it's like, and people are probably wondering, it's like, oh, what kind of home did you get? Was it like buku big bucks and all that other stuff because you're a YouTuber and you gotta have the $1 million mansion and everything? It's like, I'm paying cash for a 2-bed 1-bath 950 square foot half-acre plot. I'm lucky enough to have an attached garage, and bonus points, it has a sunroom. Needless to say, I kind of scored big on this one, cause this story behind this thing is the fact that it went fast. Like this I've been working with a realtor to find a place. It's about high time that this 30-year-old man moved out onto his own and everything. And this is where things are going to get a little inspirational here, hopefully, because when it came down to it, I'm going to tone down the music just a little bit just for this part. When it came down to it, I was really trying to find something that was in the ballpark of like acceptable living conditions as well as a reasonable price. And needless to say, things were not looking too hot, to say the least. They were a bit run down. There was one property where you stepped on one specific bit of flooring and it did that. So that was waiting for somebody to just suddenly fall through the foundation. Not good. Very tight living quarters, terrible backyard situations if it even had a yard to begin with. Commute would have been a nightmare. Pricing was the only saving grace, but that doesn't sell you a home in its entirety. And then I started finding places that were closer to work, which is just one town over from where I currently am right now. And there was only one property that kind of fit my bill. At least it was like the better one that existed out there. And it's like, I could see myself living in it, but the yard's a little bit torn up. The foundation's kind of cracking a bit, but I could deal with it. And then the one I bought showed up. It came up into my feed where it was going to go on the market soon, but because I had a realtor, I had insider information and was able to see just exactly when it was going to go up, and I kind of had like sort of first pickings with it. Me and my realtor looked at it and was like, okay, it's going to open up within like a week. We'll be able to just drive in there after work and check it out and schedule it and all that other stuff and everything. Literally 2 days after we had made that arrangement, it goes up. Like super freaking ahead of schedule. Neither me nor my realtor even knew that was going to freaking happen. And so we rescheduled to that day. I met her at the house. We walked through it. And I kind of just knew this was the one. Everything was kept well together. Everything was all copacetic. Everything was there that needed to be there. It had everything that I would need going forward with just one guy in one house doing his thing. There wasn't really much that I was going to need. If anything, it has almost too much that I need. I kind of do want a basement, don't need one. The sunroom I don't need, but it's nice that it's there. Having a garage for once is actually really good. And it moved fast afterwards because I was looking at the property and I thought to myself, this is the one. This is the one that I want, and I need to act quickly because properties are being bought up incredibly fast as everyone from the coasts are moving into the central states because they realize the coasts suck. And I do not blame them for that entirely. Things are a little bit better over here. Because no coast, best coast. But that's just me saying that. So we go back to the realtor's office, and I call my dad and just like, I think I found a house. I need your help with this. He's a tax accountant. He's really good with finances and everything. He knows all the financial mumbo jumbo when it comes to this sort of stuff. And we worked out a contract that I was able to put some good faith money down, and we were able to shuffle some money around into places to show that I can actually afford it and pay the loan off onto everything else. And 6 hours later, I get a call from my realtor in the evening, and the contract was accepted, and my bid was picked, and the house would be mine. I bought a house in less than 24 hours after it went up on the market. I still can't get over that I did that. I still can't get over the fact that I did that. It moved so freaking fast. On top of that, my brother's friend's parents contacted me and said that they were selling their washer and dryer set for $300 total. And I need a washer and dryer in my house. So I'm going to be moving those in over the weekend. I don't know what's happening, but a lot of good things just suddenly started happening. And I'm not feeling like I'm totally prepared for all of that. It's insane, to say the least. Ugh. And this, again, on top of that, I'm gonna be my birthday's coming up, so it's like a lot is happening next week, which is why more than likely next week's reacting and racing is probably not going to happen. Now that I'm thinking about it, probably the birthday stream is more than likely not going to happen, because there's a lot of prep work that's going to need to be taken into account there. And it's like I said, I was in a talking mood, and I felt like just throwing on the stream and just doing this would be productive. Oh, great. It's been a while since I've seen you doing this, Charter. This is why I'm getting Fidelity Internet. So that I do not have to deal with this. When am I officially moving? I'm officially moving whenever A, I have a bed, and B, when I have internet. Those are the musts that will have to occur in order for me to be like fully in. Oh yeah, Luna, we know. Spectrum's on the spectrum. We made this point abundantly clear. I mean, again, there's nothing I can really do to stop that except, quite literally, move and get a different internet provider. So hopefully, Fidelity works a lot better. And I kind of have to blame maybe the heat doing all of this. You know, that 84 degree Fahrenheit weather out here. Old Charter can't handle such sweltering temperatures as mildly warm. And it's like, again, we even have a new modem, and it's still kind of puttering around. But then again, it is almost 9 o'clock, so that's usually when it does die. I'm just making sure that I know Twitch is saying that it's unstable, and YouTube is clearly saying that there are keyframes missing and causing buffering, but I can't really stop that. I am powerless on that front. But again, when things get to that point, we will be most certainly not having to deal with that when Fidelity hopefully kicks in and everything. And I mean, it's only a slow crawl with the skipped frames and everything. What are you freaking doing, Charter? It says my stream quality is good, but my internet connection is garbage. You done now? You done having your little spat down there with 5,348 skipped frames, which is about 5.2% of the stream total so far? You done now? We good? That's what I thought. Bitch. Yeah, hopefully Fidelity Internet's a lot better. Well, I know it'll be better than Spectrum. Fidelity isn't on the Spectrum. Oh, I said that, and Charter took offense to that. What am I going to do with it? What am I going to do with you except just freaking leave? God, you are really mucking it up right now. But not enough to actually just straight up stop. You're doing it just slow enough that everything is just looking like ass. Probably. Hang on, I'm just looking at this right now. Twitch is saying that it's stable, but YouTube is still having a bit of a fit with keyframe frequency or whatever the heck is going on here. But what do you want me to do, YouTube? Blame Charter. They're the ones that just can't seem to freaking understand how the internet works, much like Nintendo. Much like freaking Nintendo. Oh, would you look at that? She's resubbed for the 4th month in a row. Much freaking appreciated there. But yeah, going back to the house and everything, I do want to thank you guys for making that a lot more possible and a lot more doable. That is still louder than I was expecting. It's a good thing I did make that a lot more expensive than it normally should be. Maybe I need to bump that up to 1,000 points too. Plot twist, Nintendo made Charter. They're distant twins, or twins separated from birth. Acolyte style. Going back to the main point though. The more wholesome point that I've been trying to make this whole time. I do want to thank you guys for all the support that you've been doing. Yeah, I do need to turn the volume down on that one. I'll work on that in the meantime. Just avoid using the pipe noise for the time being. I do want to thank you guys for all the support that you've been giving me ever since I've started mainly doing the streaming bit, because that's the monetized bit of my channel that like I said, every single reaction that I've put out onto my channel thus far, completely unmonetized. I have not made a single cent off of any reaction video that I've posted, whether it be SMG4 or something else entirely unrelated and everything. But the point of the matter is, out of the entire, like, 14 years, 14 years that I have been on YouTube making content and everything. Well, for a good while, though, there was a time where I just had the channel because I'm a law-abiding citizen, and I didn't make a YouTube account until I turned 18, like you're supposed to. And I was just more or less doing that so that I could watch more videos, leave comments, likes, and do all that other jazz and everything. And then it was around the time when Halo Reach was really popping off, and I had a good core Xbox group of friends playing that and everything. And propped up the laptop on the bar stool and aimed the integrated webcam at the screen and had at it. All of that was at the start. Speaking of which, like, when did I upload that video? When was my first true upload? October 7th, 2011. Which is 13 years ago. So it will be 13 years ago, come October 7th, when I actually started uploading videos to YouTube. In the 13 years that it has taken me to get to this point in my life, that's how much I've made. It's not all glitz and glam and everything. All that glitters is not gold. And why did the camera just suddenly get so freaking bright? But in the 13 years that I've actually been making content on YouTube and everything, it is now coming to the point where YouTube is actually paying me. It just took 13 years to make over $100, but that's what I get for not monetizing the more popular videos on my channel. Like, even the most popular one out there, the frickin' Sonic Adventure 2 Dark Story fan dub reaction from Snapcube, 500,000 views. I purposefully have turned the monetization off on that, just simply because I can't, in good faith, frickin' get money from a video I didn't make. I don't feel like I earn a single cent just because all I'm doing is sitting here watching it. I could do that with no camera, and I'm putting forth just as much effort as before, which is why it's taken me 13 years just to make $100 on YouTube. If I put more effort into it, I could most certainly make more money. And that's where the streaming kind of comes into play. And occasionally I try to make the gameplay videos, but they're a little bit more, like, difficult to push for the audience. There's a very, very specific niche for my channel and everything, and that's not a bad thing or a good thing. It's just a thing. Like, do you think Defunct Land would work well if he just suddenly switched into gameplay videos, or just switched into, like, politics or something? No, he's known for he's the guy that makes the videos on internet, or on entertainment and amusement parks and all that other stuff and everything. He's got his specific niche. I've got my specific niche, and that's just how it's going to work and everything. And you just roll with the punches and do with it as you can and everything. And it's clearly evident that the Streamlabs multi-stream chat is no longer working, so let's get the YouTube chat up on the phone so that I can actually see what everyone on YouTube is saying too. Because I feel like somebody is saying something that I just can't see because Streamlabs just doesn't want to work like that. Yes, shockingly enough, Penta, I am only doing YouTube for fun. I consider YouTube this thing called a hobby that I do just for the kicks. I'm not here to make buku bucks off of other people's content. I'm just here to have a good time with you guys. It's the streaming aspect that gets some level of monetization going. It's what makes this kind of stuff work and everything. That's where the money comes from. And that's why I'm saying, like, once I move out and I'm in the house myself and I have everything set up and we're all here doing the thing that we do most of the time, I will be able to stream more. I will be able to do more, and I will be able to, in a roundabout way, make more. And that's kind of, well, it's not even kind of, it is a good thing that I can kind of work through this a little bit more and do more with this. What do you mean kick stream references? I mean, if we're talking about kick, this is a no kick zone. We don't deal with that. We don't deal with that sort of degeneracy here in this little I don't even really want to call it a safe space, but just more of like smart space. I'd like to think that you guys have a little bit more decency than to be dealing with kick at any time. It's like that meme that I made a while back. Kick, when when you've been banned literally everywhere else but still haven't learned your lesson. Have I heard of SML? Yes, I have. I'm not really particularly a fan. Just not really my not really my style, not really my thing. And all the other questionable stuff that's come up from that as well is just, I just don't really want to poke that can of worms specifically. And to each their own. If you find interest in that, if it's fun for you and you like it, by all means go for it and everything. It's just not my cup of tea. Glad to have helped you with YouTube. With the YouTube check being sent. It finally paid off after 13 years. But it's like, even you guys you guys do help out even in a physical sense. I've been trying to get to this point as well. And there's a reason why the YouTube chat has the throne link pinned at the top, not just because of birthday related stuff, but also it's just, I think I'm kind of trying to push for not only the birthday thing, but also the house and everything. But Minecrafty specifically over on Twitch, getting me just a nice little corner shelf unit for the house through Throne and everything. And it's nice. It's nice to know that you guys care enough to not only donate money specifically, but to also just buy me shit that I actually need, that'll actually make use of. It's also not to say the fact that Frontier, I don't know if he's in the YouTube chat or in the Twitch chat somewhere, but I've always been wearing the headset that he bought me, as well as using the keyboard that he gave me, as well as the mouse as well. You guys are coming in clutch a lot when it gets right down to it. Even doing something as little as just showing up, having the stream open on another tab while you're doing something else. And it really helps. It really does help a lot. Don't you work at an industrial environment outside of YouTube? I do have a full I do have a full-time factory job outside of YouTube. It's what primarily pays the bills. So, that most certainly is the breadwinner there. As it always should be for me for the time being, unless streaming somehow supersedes this. But given the scheduling and everything that I can make work, it could entirely be possible that technically, when it comes to it, I could make streaming literally just a second job. Not even just a part-time job or what it is right now, which is just a barely monetizable hobby. But it could entirely be something more. If it gets to that. If it does get to that point. So it's getting there, and it's gonna happen next week. That's the thing. It will be happening next week, and I am both ready for it and not ready for it. Needless to say. But once I'm in that house, once I have everything set up, once we leave the orange dimension and go to whatever dimension the house will exist in, it'll get there. It will get there. Would you create a PNG tuber or a VTuber model? Or is there no need for that? I don't really think there's really a need for that at the moment. But I will say this. Bringing that up, there is like a thing that I've always like sort of kept in the back pocket if it ever comes to it. Because as you guys know, shocker, Magnemite's my favorite Pokemon, and it's kind of the de facto face of the channel and everything, aside from this ugly mug right here. There might at some point come a time where Nintendo might take offense to that in a cease and desist kind of way, and that I would need to somewhat rebrand. I kind of already did that when I switched the official channel name from Viger the Magnemite to just Viger. Keep things a little bit simpler. Literally the KISS strategy. Keep it simple, stupid. But the Magnemite has remained as sort of the face. However, I do have a contingency plan should it ever come to the point where Nintendo says you got to do something different with the Magnemite. You can't use the Magnemite anymore. And I do have a backup. I haven't shown you guys this before, though. That's a thing. It's still a work in progress, and it's a very, very crude mock-up of what I have working. So it's going to be a little bit straight cringe. Not gonna lie, it's going to be cringe. But, again, temporary. I'll get somebody else to make something a little bit more official, but yeah, it's something to say the least. I went with a little bit more of a retro sort of steampunkish electro-punk sort of legally distinct Magnemite. You got like the little Tesla coil arms and almost that Portal style personality core body with a little bit more of an expressive eyeball, but of course the same hat as always and same eye color and everything. It's a little bit more old style, steampunkish, like I said. Something Nikola Tesla would most certainly approve of as far as designs are concerned. But like I said, this is just a a placeholder until I would make something a little bit more official, but legally distinct regional variant of Magnemite that I would try to lay claim to if it came to pass that Nintendo said you need to stop. So there is that. It's not going to be full-blown PNG tuber, or even if I could even make it work to be a VTuber model as a whole. That's just not really something that... It's just not something that I really need to be concerned with. Just simply with how I operate the channel and everything. I've got no qualms with showing my IRL face. Never really did from the get-go when I started doing reactions. But yeah, and I am in no way, shape, or form an artist. Much like the original Magnemite, it's still made in MS Paint with various shapes and bits and bobs everywhere. So yeah, I'm not an artist to any degree. So I can just draw up a sketch and hopefully find somebody who can make this look actually appealing. So, just something that I've been keeping in the back pocket for a rainy day, should it ever come to pass, then Nintendo get all antsy about me becoming a little bit more popular with Magnemite. But hey, somebody's got to make the make the poor ball bearing a little bit more relevant. I mean, honestly, he's kind of got a little bit more of a reputation than you think. He's one of only 2 Pokemon that have appeared in every single regional dex since the freaking beginning. The other one is Psyduck. It's Psyduck and Magnemite that have appeared since Gen 1 and have never stopped appearing, even to today. And when we go back to Legends ZA and go back to Kalos, he's still going to be there, because he was in Kalos there too, so. How long have I had the hat? I know I've had it since high school. And I graduated in 2011, but... I'm gonna curse some people, because I'm gonna see if there's a... a tag on here that I can read as far as, like, copyrighted material and everything. Because it doesn't look like it. Only thing that I have to go off of is the fact that his name is George. Deep lore here. But if I wanted to shoot in the ballpark somewhere, I want to say roughly 2009, 2010. I know I've had this hat for a good long while. A very, very long while. Yeah, deep lore here. We have a name for the hat. Needless to say, though, it's not the only one that I've got. And you probably know it because of the fact that, because of the fact of the shiny Magnemite, what I like to call SMG4 or the SMG3 variant. I don't ever wear this one though. That's the thing though. You wonder why it's like, again, you wonder why the SMG3 variant is got the black hat on, because I actually freaking have one. Oh yeah, I prefer the OG as well, which is why the evil version wears it. It pops better. I'm more known for wearing dark colors, but having just like the tan hat on top of that makes a lot more sense. make this... Nope. Yeah, it's just a deep lore moment. We now have a name for the hat. And in case if you're wondering where I got this hat, Walmart. I just was strolling through Walmart one day in the year of our Lord and Savior, 2009, we'll say. I saw it on a rack. I put it on and I looked good. I walked out of that store with it on my head. Didn't pay for it. No, I paid for it. But yeah, the deep lore. I found George at Walmart. And we have been inseparable since. He says very sarcastically. God, I need to crush those cans. There's a lot of them back there. So, Walmart sponsorship went. Dude, I don't think they sponsor anybody. They look at streaming and are just like, no, we don't need that. Azure Lane sponsor when. That's what I'm more so waiting for. If we're gonna get real, if we're just gonna get real here. That's for the one I'm waiting for. I've already committed enough to that, and I'm just like, for the love of Christ, somebody give me a promo code. What else do I want to do tonight? Aside from just explaining the house problems, let me see if I can get the lighting fixed. It's a little better. But what else do I want to do today? I mean, I really don't know what else I want to do today. I just fired up this stream just to be like, just to talk, because a lot is happening right now, and that I'm both simultaneously ready for it and not ready for it with the house. But I'm just like, I needed to talk about this. I needed to talk about all this stuff at some point. Because it's all going to become abundantly clear the day that I fire up the stream and all of this is going to just not be here. That's the thing. This is what to kill time, huh? Well, what I want to be doing something. That's the thing. And I know, like, talking is one thing, but I want to do a little bit more than just simply that. I mean, I know I have stuff to talk about, but it's like, I need a little bit more than that. I don't know. Something along those lines. Yeah, it's, I don't know, I'm kind of stumbling around trying to make sense of this whole situation that I found myself in. That's a roundabout way that it could work, Jackson. But again, it's needless to say, I don't think it would work like that. Again, Walmart doesn't really have much in the line of, oh, we could most certainly sponsor a streamer of some sort. I could easily see them not doing that for very obvious reasons. See, I don't know if I actually want to do any sort of gaming or anything. Just simply on the grounds of, again, Charter being incredibly unpredictable, and it is about to hit 9 o'clock here when it's at its worst, to say the least. But in all seriousness, I could just simply fire up, like, Helldivers or something and just pal around there. Screw it, that's what I'm gonna do. I've tried this before, but that was back when the internet was a lot more unstable than it is right now. If I could, I most certainly would play Team Fortress 2 just to do that and everything, but given its unplayable state, I'm not gonna touch that until Valve actually gives a damn about it. So yeah, we're gonna switch things up then. We're gonna play some Helldivers. Hey, do what you gotta do, Flex. So then with that, I'm going to tone the music down then. While we wait for if I wouldn't touch TF2 with a 10.5 foot pole. Dude, I wouldn't touch it with a sterilized 12-foot pole being held by somebody else. No. Let's see if the stream can handle this. That is the question of the hour. And at the same time, I'm going to need to get... Because I had different music playing last time I played. Strategic update. In order to assist the liberation of Hellmire from the Terminate Swarm, the addition of the Flam 40 flamethrower support weapon to all loadouts has been authorized for the next 24 hours. Abnormally high levels of interstellar spore and...
upon managed democracy.
Shut the frick up, dude. I was reading. Abnormally high levels of interstellar spore emissions have been observed from the terminated planets currently being liberated. Scientists assess this dispersal may be a survival adaptation in response to the destruction of their nurseries. It is unlikely to cause any long-term problems. Helldivers are advised to continue the operation with unaltered aggression.
The Helldivers battled for freedom.
Noted. And all that remains is Novell 43, and we have 2 days in order to liberate it. And somehow, by the good graces, people were actually able to take Hellmire. Okay. We're actually freaking doing this. They actually want to... We didn't have to blow up Hellmire. We didn't have to turn it into a new Meridia. We just had to force our way through. But okay. Yep. On top of that, you'll also get to see that under normal circumstances, I usually... I play on a more lone wolf style. If the game's going to keep up with me and streaming at the same time.
FTL jump successful. Hellpods primed. Mission coordinates locked.
So yeah, we're gonna
Allied destroyer has left squadron.
and boom. Disruptor. Get me down to the planet. If a squad mate dies during a mission, make sure you pick up their drop samples. There will be time for mourning later. I know the stream is probably stuttering for everybody here, but it's all the game itself is also stuttering for me. Something tells me that the game is having a tough time.
Well, thanks for stopping by himself.
There will most certainly be a stream to be had on Friday, or not Friday, Saturday. We're gonna see how well, because I've tried to play Helldivers before while streaming and it kind of was bad, but that was